Welcome back. In the previous video, we added a T map to our character class to store the different ammo types, the key value pairs being an enum that we created for ammo type, and the value being the int32 type to store the amount of ammo. In this video, we're going to create a widget that we can display on the screen to show how much ammo we have. Now, in our underscore game folder in assets, we have the textures folder, and in icons, we have some icons here. And you should already have the star icon, the icon circle outlined to icon, and also small ammo. And these, if you don't have them, are on the GitHub account, github/druidmech, and you can go to the UE4 CPP shooter series and download textures.zip. Now, once you've extracted those on your machine, wherever you put them on your machine, you're going to want to open up textures, icons, and ammo icons, and there should be an AR ammo and a small ammo. Those should both be what we can import into Unreal Engine. So I've already imported small ammo. Now I'm going to import AR ammo by dragging into my icons folder here. Okay, so now that I have small ammo and AR ammo, I can use these in my widgets. So I'm going to create a new widget, and I'm going to put that in the HUD folder here. So it's in underscore game/HUD. This is where we have our pickup widget BP and our shooter HUD BP. So let's make a new one. So right click, user interface, and widget blueprint, and I'm going to call this ammo count BP, and double click ammo count BP, and we'll have a brand new widget blueprint. Okay, so we have our ammo count BP widget, and the first thing I'm going to do is delete the canvas panel. We don't need that. Now I'm going to go over to our fill screen drop down and set it to custom. So now it's got a custom size, so we can make it a little rectangle here, and we can adjust this as we need to. And instead of a canvas panel, I need an overlay so I can put things on top of each other. So I'm going to go ahead and put an overlay, and I'll stick that on there, and I'm going to add some things to the overlay. The first thing I'm going to add is a vertical box because I want a couple of sections stacked on top of each other vertically. So I'm going to go to vertical box and drag that on top of my overlay, and I'm going to select that vertical box and set it to fill both horizontal and vertical so it fills the entire overlay. Now that I have a vertical box, I can add things to stack, and I'm going to add a couple of boxes. I'm going to add a couple of horizontal boxes. This will allow me to stack things horizontally in the top and bottom sections. Now I'm going to click each of these and set them to fill. And for the top box, I'll make it a fill with a value of 0.6. And for the bottom box, I'll make this fill with a value of 0.4. That way there's slightly more room on the top box. Now in the top box, I'm going to add 4 horizontal boxes. And the reason is because I want this widget to have 4 sections here. I want this to have a number for the amount of ammo in the weapon itself, a spacer here, and then a number of ammo that we have on our person. So this is like total ammo that we're carrying, and then another box for the ammo type. Then we can have the bottom section say the gun name. So for example, if it's a submachine gun, it'll say submachine gun here. So that's why we want 4 boxes on the top. They can be horizontal or vertical, doesn't matter, as long as we put them on the top box. So let's take a horizontal box, drag it on that top box. We'll do another one, and a 4th one. And we can rename these. I'm going to close the drop down so we can see that these are the top and bottom horizontal boxes. Let's rename the top one top box. And let's rename the bottom one bottom box. And now we can drop down, we can open the drop down for the top box and name these. So let's name this first box weapon ammo box. And for the next one, we'll call this one spacer box. Next box is going to be for the amount of ammo that we're carrying, so I'll call this carried ammo box. And then finally, the last one will hold the icon, so I'm going to call this ammo icon box. Now we'll set all of these to fill. And we can set the relative sizes for these. For the weapon ammo box, I'm going to set this to 0.3. For the spacer box, I'll set this to 0.1. Doesn't need to be that wide. For carried ammo box, I'm going to set this to 0.35. And for the ammo icon box, I'll set this to 0.25. So that'll give us just about the right dimensions that we need. Now, for the weapon ammo box, the spacer box, and the carried ammo box, we just need text, because these will just display the amount of ammo that we have. So let's get some text, and we'll put a text in each of these boxes. For this first text block, I'm going to set the text equal to a 2-digit number just so we can see what it looks like. I'm going to add text to the spacer box, and for this one, I'm just going to use this horizontal line symbol. It's the key above my enter key. It's a backslash, but you hold the shift key and hit that backslash and you get this horizontal line. I'm going to drag a text into the next one, and this one will be the carried ammo. So I'm going to put a 3-digit number just so we can see what that looks like with 3 digits. And this last box is going to hold the image for the ammo icon. But I want a canvas panel so that way we can anchor it and have it so that it doesn't stretch to scale to the box. So I'll add a canvas panel to this one. That's on the ammo icon box. Now I'm going to set the canvas panel to fill, and then I'll add an image on top of the canvas panel. So the image will go on the canvas panel here, and the image will be centered. And now we have the basic workings for this widget. Now I'm going to select the first text, and I'm going to call this weapon ammo text. And here in the details panel, I'm going to change the font. We don't want Roboto. That's not a cool font. Let's see what other fonts we have. Here we have this one. It's called head human cond _0 font. And there's a whole bunch of different versions of this that I downloaded from 1001 Fonts, and I got this for free. Now I'm going to set this horizontal and vertical alignment to center. Actually, I think I'd like the horizontal alignment set to the right. And if I select fill on the size, it'll let me put that on the right. I can also make the font size bigger. So I'd like to make it about 36 maybe. 36 looks good. Now I'm going to select the spacer box, and for this text, I'm going to call this spacer text. And for the spacer text, I'm going to put it to the same font. So it's head human cond _ font. And it looks like there's actually a bold. I can try the bold one. That looks pretty good. And if I go ahead and change the font size and make it bigger, let's put this at maybe 48, then that'll look good. And then I can select fill and use the center for horizontal and vertical alignment, and that looks a lot better. In fact, I might even change this to a 52 or so. That looks good. Now I'll select the other text, and this one I'm going to call carried ammo text. And I'd like to set this to the same settings as the other text, the weapon ammo text. So head human cond _ font. So let's search for that. Head human cond _ and we have _0 font. There we have it. And the other ammo is size 36. Let's see what that looks like here. 36 for the size looks good. We'll set this to fill. for vertical, I'm going to set this to center, but for horizontal, I'll set it to left, so that way it's snug next to the spacer. Now I'm going to drag on the lower corner of this, so that way we have a little bit more room. Okay, finally, in the canvas panel, we have this image. Now, for the brush, I'll click the drop down and select an image. I'm going to select small ammo. So there's our small ammo. Now, our image size, we're going to want this to be something that looks relatively decent. Let's try about 45 and 45 for size X and size Y. That's in the slot section here. So 45 and 45. And for the anchors, we're going to anchor this to the center. And then we can put our position X and position Y equal to negative 22.5, which is half of the size X and size Y. So that looks good, and we can also scale our widget so that it looks good with this size. Now finally, for the bottom box, we're going to put a text in here, and this will be for the weapon name. So let's search for text and put a text down here in this box. And for the font, I'm going to search for head humancond and choose head humancond 0. And in fact, you know, it might look even better if there was a bold here. So let's see if we have a head human bold. That one's bold italics. That one's a bit expanded. Here we have head human bold font. That one looks pretty good. I'll set this to fill, and for horizontal alignment, I'm going to set it to right, and for vertical, I'll set it to center. And I'll go ahead and put submachine gun for the text. That way we can see what it looks like with that many letters. Okay, this is looking pretty good. I think the numbers here are a little too big. So instead of 36, I'm going to scale it down a bit. I'd say maybe 28. So I'll do that to both of them. And then for the spacer, I'll scale this down as well. I'm going to say 42, and I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so we've created a widget that holds information regarding how much ammo is on a weapon that we are going to be carrying, how much ammo that we're carrying total, what the ammo type is, and the name of the weapon. Now, in the next video, we're going to work on getting this to the screen so that we can see this while we're playing the game. So we'll see you in the next video.